Out of that package now to take you live to Sydney, where New South Wales Police are providing an update on today's protest.
To around 90,000 people there. There's a reason we said we like to have time to plan for these protests. There is a reason why we have said all along we like to take the time to plan out for these protests, and that is public safety. Make no mistake, public safety was a real concern to us today. Whilst those numbers were far greater than what the organisers asked for with their Form 1, whilst the route that the Form 1 originally asked for could not be achieved, I'm really happy that the police on the ground, the police commander, ran an operation today where they had to make very big decisions very quickly to ensure people's safety. At points today, we were really concerned about a crowd crush. For example, we could not get those people, the significant size of that crowd, off that northern egress route without risking crowd crush. We could not allow those numbers to then egress into the northern side into those train stations without, again, that real risk of crowd crush. At one point there, we had to get messaging out, which we did, through our geotech system and from Pol Air to the people on the bridge to just say to stop and follow police directions. Speaking to some of the people who were on the bridge, whilst they were well behaved, it did cause some confusion. There were people still trying to move north, others stopping, and then we told people that we'd ordered them to move south, and we had to do that incrementally. Again, that was some confusion with people on the bridge, and at points there we were worried that they were going to come together. So this operation, from our point of view, was a success in that no one was hurt. No people were hurt, no police were hurt. But gee whiz, I wouldn't like to try and do this every Sunday at that short notice. There's a reason we need time to plan these things out, and I think going forward into the future, that has to be taken into consideration. We're very lucky today that the crowd was well behaved. We're very lucky that the organisers did listen to us, and thankfully we have had an operation whilst perilous at times, turned out that everyone has gone home safe. It's the community, the protesters, and in particular my police. I might just hand over to the police commander, Mr. Johnson.
Thanks, sir. I can honestly say in my 35 years of policing, that was a perilous situation. I've never seen a more perilous situation. I was honestly worried that we were going to have a major incident with potential loss of life. And I just want to shout out to all of the police on the ground, the police that were working with me, the decisions we made on the run critically and quickly, and particularly the messaging we got together, I think went a long way to averting that.
Do you want to hear from Transport first, and then we'll go to any questions?
Craig Moran, Executive Director Operations Management with Transport for New South Wales. I think the first thing I'd like to say is just to thank the people of Sydney who took the advice to avoid the area, to avoid non-essential travel. Yes, there was quite a bit of congestion, particularly on the road network of the Anzac Bridge. When the initial closure was put in place, we saw massive crowds that we had to work with police to manage just coming in to the protest at Wynyard earlier in the afternoon. And of course, with those crowds that were on the Harbour Bridge, we equally had concerns about how we could safely accommodate those numbers, particularly at North Sydney Station, and really supported the need to get them back towards the CBD, where we had more options to help get them home. Thank you.
I'll let the police commander talk to that.
And were you concerned that that decision actually might lead to a crowd crush itself when the sort of two forces combined?
Yeah, that was a very intense situation. We had more people than I'd ever seen in a small confined space. We had some tactical plans quickly in place in relation to how to manage that at the end point, which was the northern section, and we were really overwhelmed with numbers. So we had to really make a decision that was risky in itself to stop people with messaging, make sure they'd stopped, and then to turn around and go back the way they came. And I'd like to thank people for listening to that messaging and doing as we instructed and asked, and as we asked at the outset, because otherwise, I feared the worst.
Sorry, Tony, can you just mute your mic in between the questions?
Yep, sorry about that.
Ciao.
Was that a contingency you had in mind for today, or was that something that you guys picked up on the run?
It was a bit of both. We were doing a lot on the run at very short notice and in very short time frames.
Are there any thoughts on how you might move on the online system into the future into account?
Look, at the moment after today, I'm just concentrating on what's just happened.
And so, going to the start, but have you got an estimate for the crowd size? Some fans are saying up to 300,000 people.
Oh, no, I think we're looking at around 90,000, I'd say, not confirmed.
Are there any incidents you're aware of that are arrested?
There's nothing significant. I haven't been fully briefed on the outcome. We're still moving people out of the city, but no, not at this stage. The people were generally well behaved, and thank you for complying with what we asked them to do.
So there's obviously been a problem with estimates provided by repair. How have you found working with them and Josh Lee's throughout this week?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
So just working with Josh Lee's Palestinian Action Group, just coming into today, obviously, so there was an underestimate on the crowd size. Did you find working with them?
Look, in the circumstances, we did our best, and we were all, we'll continue to have a working relationship, professional.
Is this something you're planning to think about that might happen going forward? I mean, maybe for another 4 months, because
At the moment, I'm still interested in just wrapping up today. The operation's still running. We're still clearing people out of the city.
Make one more point, sorry. Just understand, we are not anti-protest. We facilitate, over 1,500 protests in the city every year. We've been working with this group for the last 2 years and assisting them with the protest, but always taking public safety into consideration. Our whole issue today was never about the fact that they are protesting something that is so significant, and we understand it's significant in a lot of people's minds and hearts right around the world. Today was all about public safety for us and having the time to plan out a proper protest where we take safety into consideration. Quite clearly, today showed us that we had to scramble, we had to make snap decisions, we had to really think about how we could get people safely out of that confined space and back into the city safely, because it came very close to us having almost a catastrophic situation where we were really concerned about. But we are not anti-protest, we don't get into the politics of it, and we do understand it is a significant issue to people.
is this the largest crowd that you're aware of across the bridge since 2000 facilitation march?
It's certainly the largest one both Adam and I have seen in our time here in Sydney.
Okay, guys. Sweet.
Thanks very much.